From every strand on the line of your reel, to the rods, to the anglers, to the lures on the end of your hook, let's talk about those big bass here on Co-Angler's Corner with your hosts, Rob Welch and John Stoutenger.
Good evening, everybody. Thank you for tuning in to Co-Angler's Corner. I'm John Stoutenger.
And how y'all are? Cajun Rob here, bringing it from the south side, so hope everybody's good.
Yes. We have a very special guest, someone that I've been paying a lot of attention to on social media, not just because I have a social media channel, but he just covers everything, covers basics, advanced stuff as well. A friend of a lot of people. I had a lot of response when I was told who our guest was. They're like, "Oh yeah, he's great. He's great. Going to be a great show." And no doubt in my mind.
Mr. Bass and Furious himself.
There you go. Let's get him on here before we get booed off the stage already. All right. All right. Welcome, sir. Thank you for joining us.
Yes. Well, thank you for having me. I certainly appreciate it. I look forward to it.
Honor's all ours, man. You got a great channel, and I like your apparel. I like your shirt. I know you got one that says "Fish only eat jigs," so I'm down with that.
I like that one too. That's probably one of my favorites. I put the Senko because that's the one that hits home the most. Was the Senko because most people either hate it or they absolutely. I figure that one's good, but otherwise, yeah. I love a jig. I love a good jig or spinnerbait.
Oh yeah. But Senko is a co-angler's best friend. I don't care what anybody says. That's all I'm saying.
That's very true.
I put a controversial post up on Facebook today on my personal channel. It was, some people are for and some people are against the forward-facing sonar. No doubt about that, right?
Yep.
So I put on there, I said, Senkos help more bad, pretty much basically, Senkos help more bad fishermen catch fish than the forward-facing sonar. Anybody can throw a Senko out there and catch fish.
I saw that post and I know. I got a buddy. I want him to go catch some fish. I'm telling him to throw a Senko. If he knows nothing about fishing, I'm telling him to grab a Senko, a little tiny hook, cast it out, hope for the best. Like that's literally my advice for. I actually took my buddy to Walmart, bought him the little Walmart set with all the Senkos and the hooks in there, tied on a Texas rig, wacky rig it, go out and go fish. You'll be good to go. Live scope, you might fish for a giant catfish all day. If you don't know what, you don't know what's. I mean, it's really, I kind of agree with that. I like that.
Oh yeah.
I mean, and I realize the Senkos really hit the market. Okay, I'm up in the Northeast. Okay, I'm in New York, and I was practicing for a tournament probably early 2000s, and the Amish were out there throwing Senkos. Now,
that's funny, man. We got a ton of them in Kentucky.
Now, my buddy and I are sitting here pre-fish for a tournament, and we're like, they're throwing Senkos. It's nothing. I mean, nothing against them or the bait. It was just like weird. I thought they'd be throwing live bait. But here they are throwing Senkos.
Okay. I mean, they wanted to catch fish. They wanted to catch
fish.
They
smart.
Yeah. It just messed my mind up. But anyways, enough about that. Ty, I love your shows. I love your channels. I love what you stand for. You're about a family man first and fishing and all that. So how about you get into talking a little bit about yourself, if you don't mind?
Okay, absolutely. No, you said it correct. Definitely a family man. I'm a father of 4. I'm 42 years old. A lot of people don't believe that when I say it, but I'm 42. I got 4 kids. My oldest is 17. My youngest is 4. So I'm trying to put one into college, and I'm trying to teach one how to use the potty. Like this is really kind of mess with your head throughout the day. So I never know whether I'm coming or going, if I'm fishing or not. It's so much going on, but I love it. This is my life, and I'm very thankful for it. Faith is a big thing for me. So I that's what I do for a living. I play music in church. I'm a musician, and I've been doing that for 25 years. So that's what I do. I absolutely love it. I did sell insurance for 17 years, and I did it. But yeah, I couldn't wait to get out of there and just get to else. I'm so tired.
Yeah.
I don't want to hear nothing else about home insurance, commercial insurance, boat. Never want to hear the word insurance again as long as I live. But it's okay. I did it for a while. Fishing related, I got into fishing really, really late. I probably started fishing when I was like 34 or 35. Before that, I'd never touched a pole, never went fishing before, had no clue, didn't even care, no idea. But I got into it pretty late. Trout, catfish. I remember distinctly an older gentleman asked me when I came to the I was at the Rappahannock River fishing. I just got into fishing. He's like, "Hey, what you fishing for?" And I was like, well, pretty much anything that bites. But he kind of knew that in order for me to catch a specific fish, I probably needed a certain technique. So he was trying to see if I was dialed in or if I was just hoping and wishing. I was hoping and wishing for sure. I had no clue. I was just casting out. If it took off, I'm excited. My kids start yelling. I start yelling. I'm running up and down the docks. And I'm I'm excited. I just was happy to be there. Like it didn't matter. Trout, all that. Then I hooked into a bass. My brother got me kind of more on the bass fishing side. I hooked into the bass. I hooked into next thing I know, I was in a boat with David Walker fishing a tournament going on the Potomac.
Wow.
That was my very first tournament ever, was fishing with David Walker. First time ever in a bass boat ever on the Potomac. I learned so much that day. I really had no idea what I was even expecting or looking for. And now I'm like, holy cow, I probably could have picked up a ton of stuff from that day, but I really had no idea. I had one like $12 at that time Walmart pole that 10-pound monofilament on it, and I was trying to throw a frog in the grass, and needless to say, I didn't land anything. I broke off several times. It was just it was a disaster, but I had a blast from there. And since that point on, I've been fishing competitively since 2020. I did a couple like local club stuff a little bit before that, and maybe a BFL here or there. But 2020, I've been competitive. I was trying to compete. I did made the regional that first year. The very next year is when I won a BFL and then top 5. The very next year, I don't know what happened. I have no trophies, but I did do really well. And then last year, I got another trophy. But since about 2020, I've been pretty locked in on the bass fishing, and then just trying to expand on the whole Bass and Furious, trying to create the clothing, the TikTok, the Twitter, the Instagram, just trying to grow and kind of expand myself. Because I knew way before it actually like took off, and I'm sure a lot of people did, that being a professional fisherman, if you're not consistently top 5, you're gonna owe somebody money. You know what I mean? Like that's my mom, you're gonna owe somebody money. So my thing was, how can my 3 things: how can I make money before the tournament? How can I make money at the tournament? How can I make money after I get done with the tournament? The way to do that is the social media, the clothing, the brand, things like that. So that's when I started working on different avenues to where I thought I could be successful in, and then we're just continue to work on them and see if they keep on going. But that all in bass fishing. I have done some muskie. Let me throw that out there because I get a lot of slack. Just why don't I fish for something else? I have done muskie fishing. I did catch a 50-inch muskie. I did catch a 48-inch muskie. I feel like that's the top level of muskie fishing. So I retired from muskie fishing already. I'm back to bass. There we go.
you know, I made a comment earlier that might be a shirt for you too. Even Amish throw Senkos.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Oh boy, I can add it to the list. That would be that would be one. That might be a top seller. I don't know how.
There you go. You never know.
There you go. Hey,
Kevin McGibney's in that with K&K Customs. He's in the house, and Jim Sperone, owner of Wicked Weights Tungsten's in the house. I saw that earlier. But you know, I greatly appreciate you coming on and talking a little bit about your brand and how you got started and stuff like that. So what are your plans this year fishing wise?
Fishing wise,
outside of taking Robin my money.
Oh boy, I don't. I listened to a couple of y'all podcasts. This Rob here has taken quite a bit of other people's money, and I believe you have. That's fine.
Yeah, occasionally.
This year is actually going to be. It's exciting for me because, for one, I had a boat for 6 years, but it wasn't too small to compete, but it didn't have 2 live wells. and I didn't feel like redoing and all that kind of stuff because I knew I was going to sell it at some point and get a bigger boat. So I've never competed in a BFL or a bigger tournament as a boater. I've done local club pretty much as a boater every week. I literally am out there as much as humanly possible as a boater. But this year I was fortunate. I'm very thankful. A gentleman did bless me with a 19-foot Ranger, so I do have my own boat now. So I do plan to hop in probably a Northeast BFL as a boater. I'm gonna stay out of my division for now. I'm gonna just do the co-angler thing in mind. But the big thing for me this year that I'm really excited about, the boat, of course, but I had already planned before I got the boat to jump into kayak fishing. Yep. That's my for this year. I'm excited. I've joined a kayak fishing club that apparently, I didn't know this when I got in. Apparently, everybody in this club has already won $40,000 to $50,000 in a kayak. So apparently, I'm into the top of the top kayak. I don't know. Everybody in here, I had a big trophy and a smiling and a check. So I'm excited how it shakes out for me. But I'm going to be joining the kayak fishing. I've got a whole season of that I'm going to do. BFLs, I may have some conflicts. So I got to kind of see whichever one's really going great. I'm probably just going to lock in on that one and stay because kayak will be new for me. But if it takes off, I'm going to lock in on a kayak because it does have it's really good. And apparently based on the number of people, it might pay better than BFL if I win. Like it's really close what I'm looking at. So I'm excited about the kayak part. And then the Shenandoah Division BFL is what I normally fish. The schedule to me is one of the better schedules. One Smith Mountain Lake that I got to travel for, everything else within 50 minutes of my house. So I can't beat it. Like I'm going to try my best to do what I can on that. And it's on my favorite body of water, Potomac River, James River, and then Smith Mountain. And I've done well out of a boat on Smith Mountain. I have not got a check or a trophy in Smith Mountain as a co yet. I've got to figure this place out. And I got about 3 weeks to be ready for this derby. I've been preparing for it since last year when they announced the schedule. Potomac, I've done really well at. I've loved the Potomac. I'm excited about that. And James, so close. So I'm hoping I can break through on one of the two this year and try to do well on one of those two.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah. Kayaks is huge. I mean, every show I got, it seems like the kayak session gets bigger and bigger. Even like Bassmaster Classic kayak. I mean, it seems like since COVID, I had a buddy that worked at the Cabela's here in Lexington. They couldn't keep kayaks in stock. They was just flying out the door. So that's a huge up and coming section for sure.
And it's good to get in. I still feel like I'm late compared to the people who already jumped. They're already in there and rolling. I'm just now getting going, but it's never too late to start. My kayak cost $700, and I got a black pack on it that was like $100. So I'm like $850 all in, and I'm about ready to fish some tournaments. And I got to pay for no gas. I already got rods and reels. I don't know if y'all can see. I got 52 rods and reels right here from. Those they that's the priority for the living room. Nothing else really matters. Rods and reels is where the key. And I'm ready to go. That's it. I'm going all in with the kayak, and then depending on how it goes, I will see about advancing get a little better maybe of a kayak type of thing. But I've never been one to throw all my money into something until I see how I don't feel like. Okay, how many times have you guys seen a guy that has an $85,000 Phoenix that he pays $721 a month for get beat by the old guy in the tracker? Like, I'd rather be the old guy in the tracker with no boat payment. I'd rather be 100 out of 100 times. But I get getting the new boat. I just want to start somewhere, and then I'll make my next move based on that. So that's
smart move, man. I don't blame you there.
I mean, I'm in New York, okay? So it doesn't matter if you got a 21-foot boat, 18-foot boat, 16-foot boat. I remember I was fishing a club tournament years ago, and a guy came in, and he had a walleye boat, right? And, it had, I think it was like a 75-horse motor on the back of it. He comes in with 20 pounds of smallmouth.
Oh.
And he took everybody's money.
Absolutely.
Yep. The next tournament, a guy came in with like a 16, 17-foot, like StarCraft type boat. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. He said first tournament ever. Now, he brought in 6 fish. Okay. And our rules at the time, you bring more than 5, your biggest fish weight gets deducted from, you lose that fish, plus you get that taken away. Because New York State's a 5-fish limit.
Okay.
And that son of a gun still won the tournament.
Golly.
Oh, he was horrible.
Yeah.
And I was like, what am I doing wrong?
Tell him take you out next time. Take me out, buddy. Next time.
That's what I'm like. Ken, you want to help me out here?
That dude put the work in. That dude put the work in. That's what happened right there.
And I tell everybody, I'm like, you can have a $500 setup or a $30 setup. If you know how to use it, that's all that matters.
Yep.
Yeah.
What you got confidence in, that's for sure.
That's it. But no, I'm interested. I'm interested to see how you do in the kayak. Are you going to video that all that as well?
So I got a weird thing about, like, I love it's crazy because I feel like 90% of my life is online. Like 90% of like the all the good fun. I leave everybody out of all the craziness, but like for the most part, I feel like it is. But something about being in the kayak and having my phone or something out there just completely it doesn't sit. I know there's holders. I know all that, but I've lost my phone. So matter of fact, I mentioned fishing with David Walker. I fished with David Walker in the tournament. We were in the Potomac. I went up there with him, and about 3/4 of the way through the day, I started feeling through my pockets because I have chapstick left pocket, keys right pocket, wallet front left. Everything has to be like in certain pockets. Yep. I know where it's at. Yep. So I check and I don't see my keys. I start looking around. I don't see my keys. And my keys are gone. My keys are in the Potomac. So I got to call my wife to leave work to go pick up the kids from daycare, drive to meet me in Woodbridge so I can get my truck unlocked to get back home. Not to mention, let's fast forward like a year. I get started on a fishing trip, literally putting the boat in the water. The phone slides off into the water.
Oh, no.
So my mom, nobody knew where I was at for 7 hours. I had no, nothing. I fished with my brother, same thing. My phone. So I don't know. I'm weird, but yes, I do plan on filming as much as possible. I'm probably going to do it like I did my road to the All-American. I never did get to the All-American, but I did document the process, and I think people appreciated me documenting
that was cool. Yeah.
Right? Like sometimes you don't. You set a goal, and I always like to aim high. That's just my personal. I like to aim high. If I make it to the regional, that's great. I mean, I did something, but I may document it like that, like me getting prepared. Maybe if I catch something good and I got the GoPro, I'm gonna try to invest in and talk to some people that have already done it, because I noticed for kayak fishing, unlike, and I can't quite say unlike, but sometimes bass fishermen, like, we love to talk, but I had a guy tell me he won the tournament throwing a Senko, and he literally threw the Senko at me after the tournament, right? He threw the Senko at, he's like, I was like, how'd you catch him? He's like, Senko, and he chucked the Senko at me so I could see the colors. And I was like, oh, cool. I was like, dude, I literally threw the same Senko all day, and I came back in with 2 fish, but you won. So he told me he threw a Senko. What he didn't tell me was how he rigged it, what he did, like how he let that. He didn't tell me the part about casting it out on the Potomac, letting it sit, don't touch it, and just let it drag, and the fish will come pick it up. I'm hopping it and twitching it. I'm trying to do all this action stuff, and he literally just cast it out at the edge of the grass and just let it float down, and the fish just came and found it. Little tweaks like that. I've noticed early on in the kayak world that, man, these dudes will tell me everything. They're from not fishing stuff. I don't really want to compare the two. They're totally different worlds. But I pay attention when people talk to me. Let's put it that way. I pay attention when people talk, because in the past, some people may not have said something that could have helped me. Like, Ty, don't go sit on the mouth of Mattawoman Creek when the wind's blowing 30 miles an hour. Don't sit there. No, they just wanted to take my money. They just saw me as a check, as a thing. So they're, Ty, run wherever you want. If he doesn't make it back to the ramp, then shoot, that's just one more check for us to get. I know if that's how they were thinking. That's just how my brain thought, because I really felt like somebody should have helped me, because I was literally like my first time out on the water. I had no clue. I needed some help. And I'm not afraid to ask for help, but I'm excited. I do plan on documenting a little bit of it. See, I got to.
Yeah. Kyle Richards says, hey, Ty, what do you think is better in the river in May? Throwing a spinnerbait or chatterbait? Your thought?
Oh boy, I'm assuming
I'll be there with you guys. I'll be there with you.
You might want to bring the chatterbait. I haven't caught.
No, there's
life.
I hate to disagree with you with that one.
It's okay. It's okay. I know some guys.
There's not a might bring a chatterbait. You better bring a chatterbait.
Yeah, or you're gonna get beat by chatterbait. Yes.
Yes. You might want to tweak your chatterbait though. I will say that. You might want to make a little mod that people aren't making, and maybe the crazy idea in your head that you're thinking of, you might want to try that because those fish will see a million jackhammers. I'm just gonna throw that out there. Million jackhammers. And you might want to come with a little something different, or if you got confidence in the jack, just throw the jackhammer. Just make sure you put it in the right spot and go to work.
And if you want, throw a Senko.
Throw a Senko. Yep. I can't. That's I tell you guys the trophies up there. That 4th place on the Potomac, I never ever picked up a chatterbait, and that was in the spring. I threw a Senko all day, and I threw a tiny finesse worm, and I smashed them. And my biggest weight on the Potomac ever in the spring came throwing a shaky head and a drop shot. So I'm as a co-angler, I 100% of well versed in the drop shot and a Texas rig, little tiny worm. I'm telling you, I will throw that mess every chance I get.
All right, I got my pen and paper out here now, right? So what color? what color was that tiny finesse worm? No,
that tiny finesse worm.
I'm picking.
I throw it all the time. I throw the same color, and I will not tell my mama that color. I won't show nobody that color. One other guy does know the color. One other guy does know, and that's just because he's seen me throwing it. Other than that,
hey, just like they say, the best crime to commit is one by yourself.
Right.
That's it. Because I got one or two in the backup, but I mean, it basically put it this way. There's a color that everybody likes to throw on the river. I think a lot of people like the green pumpkins, the purples, the orange tail, the chartreuse tail. A lot of people like those things. I'm the type of person that'll take 23 bags of Senko colors and I'll throw every single one of them in a BFL from the back of the boat. I'll throw every color till I find one that as soon as it hits the water, something's going on with my line. I finally found that color during like 3 or 4 different tournaments, 2022. Boy, I ain't put it down since. If I don't got that, and it hit me as I was leaving the ramp. I took the Senko I had tied on, I held it up in the sky, and I was like, I don't think that's it. And I grabbed this other one that I just so happened to have in the thing, and I picked it up, and I looked, and I was like, holy, that doesn't look like every single fish in this river. I got it, and sure enough, I mean, 3rd cast, and I had a 3.5. Like, we did very, very, very well that day, but it was an instinct kind of change at the boat ramp as they're calling our boat number. I made a switch real quick because I wanted to have my rod ready when we hit that spot. I was like, I gotta have it ready. Sure enough, and the only difference I do is the dirtier the water, I'll dye the tail. Other than that, I'll leave it straight as is. But other than that, man, it's I like it. But it's my buddy will beat the brakes off me with that green pumpkin purple. That's all he throws. That's his confidence color. Green pumpkin purple. That's all he throws.
So what color is that tail again? I'm playing.
Kyle's playing right there. Kyle, that
June bug resembles June.
You can't go wrong.
Hey, look, no. Especially in Florida.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But no. Like I said earlier, we're just a couple guys at a coffee or a tackle shop talking fun.
That's awesome. Love it.
Yeah. No, now are you going as a boater for the BFL?
I'm gonna sign up as a co for the whole Shenandoah division, but I do plan to, because I just got the boat. I haven't even taken out in the water yet.
Oh, okay.
I haven't driven anything with the 200 horse. Well, actually, I have driven. My buddy let me borrow his Skeeter for a Wednesday night tournament, and I probably went 40 miles an hour, the same speed that I tracker with a 40 horsepower. I just wasn't used to it. I never. Yeah. And honestly, when I hit like 45, I really thought that I was breaking some kind of speed limit, like somebody was gonna come arrest me for that kind of speed with me driving just yet. I know that sounds weird. That's just how I started. I had a 40 horsepower when I started. But once I get it, a few runs in it, I make sure that I don't need to be towed back in or nothing weird, because it's actually a Ranger 390V 1980. Yep. So I really don't. I'm learning. I got to learn it a little bit, put some time in with it, and then I do plan on hopping in something. Or I'm going to start on the Potomac. I'm going to start actually on Anna, I think, run it because I know I can run it wide open on Anna and not run into something. Then I'm probably take it to the Potomac. and just dial it in. I really only need the trolling motor to work because on the Potomac, I'm just going to one place and I'm just going to sit in the grass and I'm just going to keep casting around. But I do need to make sure that I can run to another grass bed just in case my one doesn't work. So I need to make sure I can run. But I'm going to test it out. Then I'll decide. But I do plan on entering something as a boater this year, and it's going to surprise a lot of people because they really were not expecting to see me this early. I hadn't talked about being a boater for maybe 3 to 5 years. I was trying to get some stuff situated, make sure my little kids is old enough, make sure this one's in school good, fix my roof, fix my stuff like that before I had even trying to get a boat. Now that I have one now, I gotta we're gonna get put some work in real quick.
There you go.
Hey, you can be sneaky. I know a lot of guys go as a co all season and they make the wild card and they switch over to boater for the wild card.
I guess that would depend on where the wild card's at. Normally they put it in something, and then I'll just be lost. I'll be completely.
Yeah, they wait the last minute to spring it on you. So it's a little bit of a gamble.
Hey, no problem. It'll be in Clear Lake in California. You'll be good for
it. Yeah, I can see a zero coming from Clear Lake. I don't have any 65-pound braid. I don't have no 2-ounce tungstens. I have none of that stuff. I throw Senkos. You know what I mean? Like I got Senkos. I don't know how those work. They might work fine. I don't know.
Yeah,
but it won't be too far from Kentucky, their home office. Let me put it that way. I've noticed that over a few years. It'll be Tennessee, Kentucky, maybe Alabama. So it'll be kind of mid-south.
I might be okay with that. I had fun traveling out of town and doing.
Yep.
I did that with the kayak. I entered a kayak tournament, online one. I think it's Chad Hoover or something like that. I entered an online one and I placed, I think, top 5 in that in my very first one. I just hopped in and got it. And if you made it, you got a chance to go down to Alabama against everybody for a chance at some money. I couldn't make it to Alabama. Then I fished another one and I finished 4th in the kayak again. So I'm really, I don't know, something about me in this kayak. It's something to me about being that close to the water. And everyone that follows me knows I can't swim. So I've really got to work on the swimming part if I'm gonna keep being in the kayak. Feeling that sucker might go sideways, especially if I set the hook on a jig. I almost thought that was the day I was going to go over when I set the hook on a jig and a jig fish in a kayak. Oh my! Because I give them what I got, and next thing I know, I'm rocking. So I was like, I want to work on that, but I'm something about being that close to the water and just I don't know, just it's just kind of feeling it being right there. I really like being out there in that in that kayak. Don't get me wrong. I love the bass boat. I'm gonna do just fine the bass boat, but it's just, I think it's just gonna add another level to what I do and just being versatile and being able to be successful at a high level is my thing.
Yeah. Well, it's like Eric Jackson. He went from kayaks, to bass boats there in the FLW for a while, and he did pretty good.
Eric, he did do. I remember watching him on live a couple of times. Very entertaining. I enjoyed it. Yes, sir.
Well, I mean, you look at it. Ike and Ellie.
Hey,
he knows Ike well. He's been with Ike, so I know that.
Yeah,
I do. Ike was that was one of the other David Walker, Gray Buck, Adrian Avina, Ike Anelli, Tom Redding, all these guys that I fished with. Like, I've been able to take away something from every single one of them. But Ike Anelli definitely made me, like, I thought I could cast really well. Like, I really thought I could. That's just something I thought. But just watching how he's in the speed in which he's casting, I'm just like, okay, there's another level that I need to get to. So since that day, I mean, I've literally just been locked in on, because I think he might have been like some kind of Texas Rit jig, something like that. Just something that you got to pitch, but he was only getting bit if he made the accurate cast. It had to hit certain spots. As soon as it hit, it's on and it's game time. But I try to make that cast, and I'm like, I'm just a little sure. And I don't get me wrong, I can skip my bait with the best of them. I'll put my Senko in the farthest corner. I'm really confident in my casting ability. I don't think there's anybody I've ever been around that I think that can outcast me. I probably will tell that to all my friends, but whew, boy, this dude, he smoked me, man. I had no chance. He smoked me left and right. So I was like, okay. So from then on, I've just been focused on, and that's what I really wanted to see. Because like I said, I fished with David Walker. David Walker's phenomenal at casting. I didn't know what to look for at that time because I hadn't fished. I hadn't been watching TV and tuning in. I had no idea that, like, I definitely could see it, the accuracy. He's catching fish. I wasn't catching anything. he's catching all of them, but he's accurate with his pitches. He's like, Ty, you see that fish? What fish, Dave? And I'm like, Dave, what fish? He's like, he caught a fish and released it before I even knew he had caught a fish. Like he literally just, and I'm like, at that time, I'm just my mind blown.
Rick is saying fish Florida.
Rick, I bet I would.
It's either swim or a gator. I mean,
oh boy, yeah. I'm excited about going at some point in my life.
But you know the secret to that. Don't fall out of the boat.
There you go.
Well, you can tap them on the nose. They don't like it when you tap them on the nose.
Are you talking about John, or are we talking about the gator?
The gator. Yeah, tap them on the nose. They'll go away.
Okay.
I don't like being tapped on the nose either.
Oh boy. Okay.
Yeah, we're talking about casting. I got paired with Gerald Swindle one time down Toho, and what amazes me is like the first cast of the day and the last cast is just as accurate. It no difference in the first and last cast of the day.
Absolutely, yeah, I agree. It was just accurate throughout the day. Shallow, I mean, shallow as we could be or move it. It didn't matter. Just put it. Sometimes he had to pitch 2-3 times to get the fit, or he would mitt. They were picking up the bait really weird, and you could tell they were picking up weird. So you pitch right back in, and then if he got that first bite, even if it didn't take it because it picked it up weird, he would get it right after.
Oh yeah.
Pitch again, exact same spot, pick it up, and then he's on. I lost one that day that he told me it probably would have got me into the check line easy because he had just caught a 6-pounder on that bank, and I tried to use my shaky head. The one thing he did tell me throughout the day is that, and that's the thing about him, I noticed that if I mention his name, people really love him, or they just don't like his antics and the yelling and stuff. I don't get it. If you're passionate about something, you might be excited about it. You may not scream and yell, but did he run back and forth up and down the boat while I'm back there? You best believe he moved all around that boat while I was. It didn't matter. He was going to land those fish. I caught a fish. He kneeled down, grabbed my fish out of the water, and chucked it in the boat over his shoulder. Like I mean, I can't be more excited or more happy that he actually, as a professional boater, has made millions of dollars, got down to help co-angler me get my fish in the boat. I've had some dudes watch me struggle with the giant, and they don't even stop casting. You got it, buddy. So I was blown away at how nice, how courteous, how professional. I mean, just in general, I so much enjoyed that. I enjoyed that experience. It's just, I don't know if this is gonna make. It probably will make sense to y'all because y'all fish all the time. It's hard to go from that to then go to guy who just started driving the boat yesterday who wants to jump in the BFL. I'm not mad at him.
Yep.
I don't got 20 minutes for you to try to skip that Senko one time, buddy. We gotta get it.
We gotta roll. We gotta roll.
Like these fish are biting. We need to cover more water because we need to get. It's really that's the tough part for me. So that's why I'm leaning, and I'm very excited about the kayak part because now it's back to me. I make the decision. I burn up too much time at some spot. I get back to that, but I like actually fishing as a co. I get upset like everybody else does. I get very highs like other people do. I get very excited as other people do. But I enjoy it. I enjoy being a co-angler. I enjoy riding around. I enjoy learning. I enjoy competing. I just enjoy the camaraderie, talking to your buddies at the ramp, finding out that you threw the same bait and you sucked and they didn't. Like all that kind of stuff. It's fun. It's fun to me. I'm okay with it. It's no big deal. At some point, I'll have had enough and I'll draw the line and I'm going to switch over and it'll be a done deal. Or I may do like you guys had Luke on here before. I may just try to run it like Luke did because he's crushing right now from the back of the boat. Winning. Oh, yeah. Time you turn around, he's winning and then sending us money. If we win, Luke is he's killing.
He's next level, man. He's next level.
I like that, man. Somebody like him is somebody that I watch and I pay attention to because I heard him talking about he has a rental property or rental house that he rents out. So he's got property money. He's got the side pot thing going. He's making the money over here. Luke is like definitely like a goal type of thing if you want to look at it because I've explained to several people right now at this point in my life I have no desire to be a professional Bassmaster Elite Series pro due to the amount of commitment and time away from home that you have because I got 4 kids. Like I can't be gone. My family's not going to travel on the road with me the whole time, so I'd be gone for months. I'd miss every soccer practice. I'd miss every basketball varsity travel, my kid says a new word, I miss all of that. So I don't have any desire to do that. I just want to be really good in my home bodies of water. And I know several guys that do it, and they make honestly more than the elite guys do. Yep. They just rush it on their own body of water, 2 to 5K every weekend, and they're living good, and they see their wife when they get home in the evening time. I like that idea to me. Now, as my kids get older, they do a different thing. I may reevaluate because I got time now. Now we can just travel around and we can do that thing. But right now, I have no desire to do that. I just want to be really good where I'm at, where I can go, and then see from there.
Yep. Look, yeah, I agree with you. On the co-angler side too, people don't realize how much of a mental game it is because you got to keep your head in the game, keep positive. So it's more mental keeping your head on your shoulders. In other words.
It does. It takes a lot. It does take a lot. I know. I try my best not to compare because I don't want to take away anything from the guy who did his job. The boater, his is very hard. One thing I do hate is that people act like or imply that the boater does he does it all and that I didn't catch my fish. Like you realize I still had to set the hook, right? Like I still had to get my fish in the boat. I still had just because we were. If you get a boater and you're around them, then you got a chance. That's all I ever ask for in a tournament is that I have a chance. And my thing is I want my boaters to do well, and I want to do well. I hate get 5 and they got 1 and they're struggling, or they're spinning out. Now, if they got 1 because everything they set the hook on, they didn't get in the boat, even though I had the net ready, it just never came close enough, or it pulled off or something like that. That's different. Their opportunities were there. That comes down to now you're gonna have to work on. Your things like that. If I do good still and I set the hook and mine come in, that's great. I'm hoping that guy does well, but I'm just saying I can't fault my good day because and act like his day didn't go that great. He just didn't work. But at the same time, I want everybody to have a good day, man. I treat him with respect. If I see his boat about to hit a dock or something, I'm pushing it off the dock. I don't want to do that. Like I need you to know that I care about your stuff. Your stuff is important to me. Let's both of us just have a good day, and both of us go back home to our family and keep it moving. Those are my best days on the water that I really enjoy. The ones where I butt heads or everybody's quiet for 7.5 hours because we didn't see eye to eye on something. I don't necessarily like those, but I get through them and I still try to get some at least get some money out the deal. I mean, holy cow! Oh yeah, right. On a jack. Look,
I tell my boaters I got 2 rules. Rule number 1 is the most important. Get me back alive.
Yep.
Rule number 2. Rule number 2. If I got something the fish are eating, have at it.
Yep.
I'll share everything. Look, I fished tournaments where I was giving the guy. I had a limit of. He had like 12 pounds. I had 17.5. I offered him my rod, my reel. I'd hook him up with everything. I want him to have fun because if and as well as we do, if the boater's not having a good day, it makes it for a harder day for the guy in the back.
Oh yeah,
it's gonna be tough if he starts spinning. It gets real interesting for everybody because I'll notice the boat position will change because he's not getting bites. He's going to for sure make sure I don't get none because he don't got none. So it's going to be I've seen it, but I did have y'all if y'all watch my videos, y'all know this. I did talk about this. I did have a tournament where I gave the boater. I told him what I was throwing, and I told him exactly how I was throwing it because I was throwing it different. Once he switched to that, I never caught another fish after that. So I kind of got in my head. I got a little bit. I'll gladly share. Don't get me wrong, guys. Boaters, if you're listening to this, listen to me very close. Don't get me wrong. I will share. Okay, I will share. But it burned me because that guy. I think he took a top 10. He smoked him once he switched because he was trying the thing. He was getting bid in practice on the thing, and his thing, if it worked, he was gonna crush him. I gave him mine. I said that I'm tweaking a little bit though. I got a little bit different. So he reached in his box. He pulled out his setup to kind of match. And boy, he lit them fish up from that point on. He lit them. I mean, I had 3 in the boat before he had any. Right. Like wow. It was quick. I dialed in. As soon as we pulled up on this, it was a point or something. We pulled up. And I just remember I love fishing points. I love fishing them points in them deep, clear lakes. I'm telling you, I love it. But man, once he switched, dude, he wore me out, man, from there because he knew where to pitch at and he knew where all the stuff was and he had first dibs at it. Now, I was very happy for him. Like, that's
Yep.
phenomenal. Really glad that he was able to get a nice check. He drove a long way. He went home. And then we worked out where if I came to his town, he'll take me out on his lake because I got some tournaments there. And it still worked out good across the board for everybody. But
Yep.
I'm a little shy about sharing exactly how I'm throwing. If I'm throwing a regular bait, sure, I'm throwing a chatterbait, buddy. Tie on a green punk chatterbait. Let's go to work. But if it's something I'm tweaking, I may share worm. I may do just like the other guy. I may not quite give just yet. Let me get my 5. Once I get my 5, I'll sing like a canary. I'll tell you everything going on. I got to get my 5 though. At least if I'm on them, let me get my 5. Then we can talk. Then we'll be best friends. I'll play music at your wedding and everything, man. I got you. But let me get my 5 on my bait.
Here's what you do, man. You go to net his fish, right? When you net his fish, you slide a pair of scissors in there, cut that bait off, and just grab it, and then be like, "Oh, he must have spit it out."
Oh,
I'm playing. Oh, I would never do that more than 10 times.
That's it. No. Hey, you gotta get creative. Yeah, I understand.
No, I just, back in the day, back in the early 2000s when I was fishing, we had a guy in the club who, if the co-angler caught a fish, he would move.
Yeah, I've experienced that.
We got to get out of here. So I'd catch a fish. Oh, off to the next spot.
Yep.
That's tough. I had one keep going while I was hooked up. I'm like, I got one. I think he turned the trolling motor up faster. We went faster down the bank. So I'm fighting the fish over something.
Oh, man.
Because I made a cast, one of them, Hail Marys, because I'm in the back of the boat and I'm frustrated. I'm going to make this cast because I'm trying to catch something. I hook up. I'm like, hey, I got one. He's like, oh, you do? Yeah. I mean, did I land that fish? No way. I had no chance. We were flying down the bank. Like, I'm fighting it. I'm like, hey, I still got it. I still got it. He's like, oh, you do? Didn't even, never let his foot off the trolling motor. And I guess at the same time, I looked at myself. I'm like, I still got to land that fish, man. Like I'm a no excuses kind of guy. I still got to land that fish. Somebody else maybe would have landed. They maybe would have won the tournament. So that's on me. I need to reel faster. Yep. Maybe speak up a little louder. Maybe I should have said, stop. Hey, buddy, can you stop? Give me a chance. I never said stop. I just said I had a fish. I didn't give him any sort of other direction. Maybe he thought I was going to just catch it anyway. I have no idea. So I always look to myself. And then when I tell my buddies, they're like, Ty, are you serious? You should have told that dude this to, like, they gave me a bunch of stuff that I should do afterwards. But like at that time, I figured I lost it. I better make another cast, try to get it again. Like,
that's all you can do.
Stop and help me catch. If he does stop, that's great, but it's not his job to. He's still trying. He had one, I think he might have 1 or 2 at the time, and he was covering a lot of water, and he likes to fish a lot fast. So, he was just trying to keep covering water. I can't never fault him for that. I wish he had given me a chance, but he didn't, and it is what it is. I learned from it, and I reel faster.
Yep. And Kyle Richard says, do you have a favorite scent or fish attractant for Potomac River bass?
A scent. I don't do anything weird. I just do. If I'm throwing a Senko or something, I use the markers. I use the scent markers. So if I'm dyeing the tail, it'll be orange or chartreuse or orange. Those are usually my go-to. Maybe a red or blue here and there. I just carry always a pack of markers. I believe it's just garlic scent, and usually that's pretty my deal. I tried Liquid Mayhem before. I tried the Bang spray. I tried the little pink bottle. That thing right there. That jelly. Or what is it? Juice.
Yep. Smelly jelly. Smelly jelly. That's old school.
I had a guy use that smelly jelly on a fire crawl chatterbait with a Zaco, and I'm positive he almost won the Toyota on the Potomac. He lit them up with that smelly jelly stuff. So I'm a smelly jelly. I just, as a I don't bring any of that stuff. I just bring my markers because I've gotten chewed out for like almost even thinking about in my brain possibly using stuff. They just hey, don't use that stuff on my boat, buddy. Make sure you pour that over the side. And one time I'll be honest, I will be truthfully honest. Might have been my second or third tournament. Very professional, very popular angler. Everybody knows him. I did spill that garlic stuff part of the carpet. I felt terrible. He looked at me with this death stare, like, I can't believe you did that. And I felt so bad. It probably was my third tournament in life. I felt so bad. Not to mention I think he's zeroed that day. I might have zeroed that day. So it was like it was a bad day. And I spilled the stuff. Since that day, I don't use anything. I just use a marker, man. I'm not
Yep.
I'm not. I didn't spill a lot. I just spilled a little bit, but you can see the chartreuse on the carpet. So he's like, it's fine, man. I'll rub it out when I get home. I think I stepped on his boat seat too by accident. Thought it was the one in the middle, like stepped down, and I stepped on it. So I'm transparent in what I do. So I don't do everything perfect. You got to start somewhere. Now that I've learned, it's now you got to once you learn, you got to tighten up. You got to make sure that these things are those things I can't worry about. I can't worry about spilling stuff. All that. I just got to catch fish, man. I can't be doing any of that. But since you guys smell the jelly, that makes two people I know that you smell the jelly. I may have to get some. Just be careful. You know?
Oh no! And let me give you another hint. All right, I'll read Kyle's comment. It says, "Bring some gel scents in tubes, not that messy liquid stuff."
Yep.
Okay. I'll tell you what I do. I'll tell you what I do with this because it's like a Vaseline base.
Okay.
And you can use it if you want. You can put it on your lips. You know, if you got chapped lips. I don't recommend it.
No.
That doesn't sound like a good idea at all.
That wouldn't be fun.
When you leave this stuff out in the sun, it does melt.
Okay.
So when the weather gets warm, put it out there on your porch or whatever, on the hood of your car, and then go to the store, get yourself some crushed garlic. You know, because it always has that garlic juice in there. You might want to put a little, maybe a shot or two in there, you know. Give it that little extra strong garlic.
That's a double like a double shot of.
Yeah.
Okay.
Dude, that's like Red Bull.
Yeah. Yeah, I can see. I definitely can see how that would.
But no, look, I'm as transparent as you are. I make mistakes. Hey, I'll help a guy out at the dock. I mean,
yes, yeah, absolutely.
You know, I'm tell you what, I'm not going to be a millionaire fishing.
No,
I'm out there to have fun, to learn, and meet people,
and have $1 million worth of fun. That's what we can guarantee.
I like that. I like that. I like the $1 million itself, general, without the fun. But I like the $1 million fun as well. I like both of them. Yeah, I understand.
Oh yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. If someone says, "Hey, I'll give you $1 million if you want to go fish for a year or two," I'm putting my. I might put my 2 weeks notice in tomorrow.
Sayonara. I'm out. We'll catch y'all later on the water. I'll be on the water in a houseboat. I have a houseboat, a regular boat, a nice truck, and I'm gonna fish every single day when I get up.
I didn't get me
my things now. I fish a lot right now. Like I do. My one thing is I don't want to be outworked. I know I'm already at a loss based on the experience level because a lot of people have been fishing since they were little kids, their grandpa, granddad, that type of thing. One of the things I don't really talk about a lot is that I didn't know that my granddad fished at all. I didn't realize there was a side of my family that really enjoyed fish. I didn't know that at all. He's no longer with us, but that's been like 10, 12 years ago. I had no idea. My mom let me know that he was into fishing and actually gave me his tackle box of some of his old crankbait that you get for free in the mail. Old bag. He had an old bag of Berkeley power worms in there. That like the packaging. This thing is old. This thing was old. But I got that the same year that I ended up winning the tournament and taking top 5. Like I had my best year of fishing that year because I kind of just something just clicked with me that like it felt like a way that I could kind of just just keep my family. I didn't know my family had a fishing thing. I didn't even know that was a thing. So like to find that out was amazing, and that really I feel like that's kind of, and at the same year that I did Wheel and Tournaments is when I left my job. I worked at Geico selling insurance. I left after 17 years. I left in that very first year when I really could devote my time to just fishing and practicing and fishing and practicing. And then just, I still work because I did the music thing, but fishing, I noticed that allowed me to catch up, so to speak, like make up some ground, stuff to learn that I didn't know that other people like. I mean, I'm talking guys like simple stuff. There's some simple stuff about bass fishing that matter of fact, when I think I said it in my video, when I fished and won the tournament on Kerr Lake throwing a spinnerbait, a 1/2 ounce spinnerbait on Kerr Lake, I didn't know how to tune a spinnerbait to make it go run faster, or if it got out of whack, I didn't know how to fix it to be run back proper. I had no idea. I had to ask the motor. I'm like, dude, how do you fix this thing? I was like, it was running straight. Now it's going sideways. He's like, you got to bend the wire a little bit. I'm like, why would I bend the wire? Like, that's a weird, but he's like, bend it a little bit, it'll straight. So I bent it, straightened back up, and I went back to catching fish, but it was running a little sideways. And luckily the spinnerbait I have, you can make adjustments, but I'm talking like there's little stuff like that I really just didn't. I knew how to pitch it. I knew how to throw it. I knew how to set the hook. I knew that kind of stuff, but all these little tiny things that people learned and garnered the knowledge. That's why I say I don't mind being a co, because I am still learning. I just don't want my learning to be just, you look at me as just learning, because I'm there to compete. I'm learning, but I didn't pay this money to just go back home. I paid this money because I think I have a chance. Like I don't know about y'all. I don't throw my money in to hoping and wishing. I'm throwing my money out my wallet. I think I got a chance. I you know what I mean? Like, I think I got a chance. I just want that opportunity and chance. And I learn by doing. I'm a visual. I learn by doing. I have to be out there and do it. And then I know what I'm doing. Then I can take away something. And too, at the same time, you know, I know I'm up against it. I know I got these river guys. Kyle keeps asking about the river. I know these river guys they've been fishing as a co and a boater for 30 plus years. They've seen the river at every scenario, whether it's a hail, tornado, whether it's a low, high. They've seen it when they know where the good gravel and the grass where it meet, because they've seen it when it's super low. You probably could walk out there sometimes. Yep. I don't know any of these things, man. I'm just trying. They're like, why? And they probably looking at me like, why is Ty fishing over there? Like, what is? Because I don't have the best. I got a tiny Humminbird. Like, I can see some stuff, but I speaking, you said forward face sonar. I've never caught a fish based off something I've seen on my graph. I've never done it. Not a tree, not a brush pile, not a stump, I've never caught a fish off something I've seen on my graph. It's never happened. I couldn't even line it up to make I could probably line it up to make the cast now, but I've never caught a fish off my graph. Everything I've caught has been off of, this looks good, I'm pitching at it. This looks good, I'm pitching at it. I burn this, they smoke it. Like, that's how I fish right now. I want to change that, because I'm not going to get my butt kicked by everybody that can see the fish swimming up to their bait. I'm not going to get my butt kicked. I'm going to learn it now that I got a boat. I have a choice. I'm not going to, I ain't even going to complain about it. I'm going to learn it. I'm going to jump in there and I'm going to make it happen. Otherwise, I still feel like I got a lot of ground to make up. Even though I've had success, I still feel like I got a lot of ground to make up. So I want to keep on learning. That's why when you mention stuff, I'm listening. I see them trophies behind your head, Rob. I see them trophies behind you. I'm listening.
I got one still in the mail coming, so I got another one coming.
I'm listening. That's why I watch y'all episodes. I watched I believe it was it might have been Allison making the All American. Like, you had y'all Cooper Gallant was on here.
Yep.
Matt Strikeful SB was on here. You guys got, like, I'm learning, I'm watching, I'm listening, because again, I don't know it all, but I want to get better, and I feel like putting in the time is the time on the water, time in general, all that stuff. It just goes into play, whether or not you're going to be the guy with the excuse or you're the guy that comes home with a check. Like, that's it. So
yeah, you pick up little tidbits and put it in your toolbox. Just pick up little and just keep growing and growing, man. That's the way to do it.
Exactly.
So Rob, if what you just heard means you need to hide your trophies as good as I do.
I don't have them things. Those are beautiful.
No.
Nice shelf.
No.
Y'all got a nice little shelf too. Both of y'all got nice little shelves. Guy told me when I won, he was like, dude, he was like, that's he said some people and that people were telling me at the ramp, they were like, not everybody has these. As money there are, not everybody can put it together and win. And I almost didn't. I had 4 fish. Yep. I got the last one with a Senko, hence the reason why the Senko shirt came around. That's the 5th one that put me over. There's one guy in my club and one guy that fishes every BFL that I fish. There's actually 2 of them. They fish every BFL that I fish, and I cannot beat those guys. I can't beat them. I don't care what I do. I can't beat them. One day I did beat them. So my one day I beat them. boy, I'm trying to tell you, I'm so happy about that. And guess who came second? The guy that I can never beat. He came second. He almost beat me.
Oh,
He almost got me.
man.
Like, man, my best day ever, and you still almost beat me. So it's okay though. He's been fishing for 30 years. He's made almost 200K as a co-angler. Like the dude is an absolute stick. So like that, I think I just so happen to live in a town where there's guys that's really just that good. He's not in every town. If I live in a different town, I might have more chances of winning. But since he's in my town, I gotta beat him. I mean, it is.
Well, someday it's your day though. Or some days you'll land every fish it bites.
Yep.
Next time you'll get half of them, maybe if you're lucky. It happens.
That's very true. Very true.
All right, here's how you beat him. You ready?
Oh no!
Find out who he's fishing. You're laughing already. You find out who he's fishing with. Go up to his boat, talk to him, loosen every single drag on his bait caster.
Turn
and throw a banana in the boat.
Here you go, buddy. Here you go. A little something for you.
Some guys lose it on that. Some guys will lose it on that.
I did that one time at a club tournament. Every year we used to have a club tournament where we'd go and joke around for a week and stuff like that. So I loosened up my boater's drags. And I think it was the next day he because we were jig fishing, and the next day he bent all my hooks over, so I get a bite and I'm like, I can't catch you.
You guys are cold, man. You guys are cold, man.
I mean,
wow.
You pay $100 or $50 to get in a tournament, you win $100. It was all about
it's bragging rights. Yeah, it's bragging rights at that point.
I mean, we had fun.
Fun though. That's the side of fishing that I feel like is even lost now, because with the competing, everybody is compete. How much money am I making? How many videos do you see where this is how much money I'm losing? This is how much money I'm making. It's hard to just have fun fishing right now unless you hop in a jackpot or Tuesday, Wednesday night with your buddies, man. It's hard because you're trying to compete, you're trying to make a living, trying to make a name for yourself, you're trying to grow your YouTube, trying to grow TikTok, Instagram. I mean, people have fun doing that, but I'll tell you, a stressful day is fishing, getting home, having to then go through and edit 8 hours plus of footage, and then you're up till X time at nighttime, and then you're trying to get a clip for Instagram, a clip for TikTok, trying to make sure it's different so you don't have the logos pop up on each one, then making a YouTube video, then making a couple of random posts on Twitter, then finally after all that's done, then you can go back to maybe go catch another turn. But it's a necessary thing now, because as you guys can see, if you don't got all of it going in one direction, there's another guy who'll get sponsored completely, and then there's a guy over here who got 8 followers, so no one's calling you. Now, even me with the followers I have, it's still difficult to connect with people, because companies have learned that it's better take 10K and split it up over 10 people versus give one guy. It's so much easier to give sometimes they don't even got to give a grand. They'll give some guy who likes 20% off. They'll give him a couple of free jigs, and he'll share their content every 8 times a day. They'll get clips and photos from him, and they not even got to invest nothing in this guy, but give him a couple of jigs off the back shelf, and he done put them on a jersey. He done painted his house the color of the jig. I'm like, okay, so this is what you're up against, and then you got it's tough out here, man. I'm not gonna lie to you, it's tough, but I stay focused on my personal goals, and I've never been one to look at someone else's how they get where they're getting. How they get there, that's great. I'm happy for you. Do what it is that you need to do to make you happy. Just like the guy that'll spend the 70K on the boat just because he's worked hard. He's got the money. He saved up the money. He's done it properly. Now he wants a nice boat for himself, and he takes his grandson out, and they go fish and they have a good time. He don't want to fish tournaments, but he wants a nice boat when he pulls up at the ramp. He wants a nice truck. If he's done it and that's the way he's done it, and he's comfortable doing it, he's not putting himself in a financial strain, by all means, dude, go buy the best boat. It's your life, right? Like, enjoy your life. Laugh, smile, joke, have some fun with it, versus the tournament guy. Like, we watched the one guy's video, can't think of his name, but he broke down, made 20K, but it only ended up being like 3.
Yeah.
That's like, I say that all the time on my live stream. I talk about it all the time, and people are like, "But man, professional fish. I just want to be a professional." I'm telling you, pay attention. Pay attention to what's going on, man. I know a guy that fished the Opens. He cashed a check in every tournament and went negative.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
What profession? What profession is this okay to cash a check and be successful and in the top tier of your thing, and to owe somebody money at the end of the year? Yep. There's nowhere. Sorry, that's a whole nother topic. Sorry, guys, I forgot.
No, you're good, man.
No, you're spot on. You're spot on. I tell kids at high school, it's like basketball players. How many basketball players go to NBA? What, maybe 50 a year or something? Yeah, I mean, it's a small percentage. But in fishing, you got sales, you got marketing. I mean, you got every avenue. So don't just focus on one. You got a bunch of other opportunities there.
You definitely do. You can get, almost the best thing to do is get a career in the fishing industry. That way you have a consistent money coming in, then fish the tournaments. And if you do well in tournaments and make some extra, but at the end of the day, you still have a consistent career and a journey, and you're making that normal money. Because I can't imagine the stress for somebody that fishes as a living to finish in 41st place and miss out on 10K, and now have to figure out how they're going to get 10K at home. By now they got to do a bunch of guide trips, or they got to go to the pawn shop, or they got to sell. Like, how do they figure out how to get the 10K to make sure the mortgage is covered? Because it's for a living. Like, they didn't get the 10K. Maybe the sponsor takes care of their season. They don't have to worry about, but just that stress alone just makes you like, man, I don't know. But I do encourage everyone. If you have a goal, you have a dream. Anyone that's listening, if you have a goal, you have a dream, and you think you can do it, you think you're that one guy, don't let nobody tell you that you're not that one guy. Prove that you are that one guy. But if you do ever realize you're not that one guy, you better know how to answer a phone. Okay. Yep. You better know how to answer. You better know how to type on a computer or something. Otherwise,
or sell products.
You better know how to close the deal. You need to give them a win-win close at the end. Are you paying with your credit card, or are you paying with your check? You need a win-win close, and you'll still be okay. You'll still make money, but you better make sure you got something else in there, man. Otherwise, because there's only one Jacob Wheeler. There's only one KVD, one Dustin Connell, man. You're talking like 3 people.
Yep.
All the other, 90, 98. That's like, come on, that's tough. So.
Absolutely, man. Spot on.
Absolutely. Like Rob said, absolutely. I mean, fishing's stressful enough, but then you add in all the other stuff, which we don't like the stuff that you mentioned, editing and all that. Look, a lot of these pros that have been at it for years, they have people doing this. Yep. You're just coming up, you're going to sit there for 6-7 hours a day editing.
Putting the work in.
Yep. And it's not always on the water. If you can fishing isn't the way it used to be. Professional fishing, I should say.
Yep.
Professional fishing, if you could go out, cash a check, get on stage, and go to a show and say hi, you had it. Now it's all right. Oh, you caught 2 fish today? That's great. How many followers you got? How many? How many times did you mention my jig? How many did?
Yep.
They don't care if you. I mean, unless you're top 1 or 2%, they don't care who you are. They just want to see those digits.
Yep.
They want to see what are they getting for giving you that 10, 5, 10. They want to see how many people are hitting my website right now. Like, and they can check.
Oh yeah. And they do.
They definitely check. They know exactly who's moving the numbers. And then sometimes you'll see some guys that they may not even do well in a tournament, but their following is good and they're still moving numbers. So like sometimes the tournament is not. I've had so many people tell me, dude, man, if I just win, if I just fish, the rest of it will take care of itself. That's not quite the case anymore.
Not anymore. Not
now, like, you can win a tournament, but if you're not like, if I didn't sell a single jig, but I'm on your tournament and you won, nobody hit my website, nobody came through. What did I cut you a check for? You just won. I mean, that's great, but I gave you a check for nothing. Nothing happened for me out of the deal. And like I said, they can figure it out now. Even they have the portals. They can log in and see exactly how many people clicked on this particular link or share and stuff. Because I do the same thing with my sites and stuff I have. I look every single day to see if there was any engagement on this or engagement on that, or how many people clicked on this, how many people actually placed an order on this. Like I check that stuff myself regularly because I honestly just check and make sure that I'm doing all that I can to make sure I get my stuff out there to people. But it's a different day, and I'll be honest with you, it sucks for some people that have been fishing forever.
Yep.
It's because they had a system in their system. Do y'all remember the $1 million pay that they turned when the guys were fishing and having a good? None of that stuff is out there no more, and it's just the pay go down.
And the entry fee goes up.
And then it's like, this is weird, but I don't want to stay there. I'm very excited about fishing. I love fishing. I like to stir the pot a little bit like everybody else because I want people to think critically, like Four Faces Sonar. I hate looking at the back of somebody's head. You do realize when you watch Denny Brower flipping a jig, you still looked at the back of Denny Brower's head. You do realize, right? You still saw the back of his head. Now, mind you, he flipped a jig. He may not have seen the fish. He didn't see the fish there. He flipped the jig and hoped that he pitched at the right pilot and the fish came in. You might have saw a side profile. Let me do this. You might have saw a side profile instead of just the back of his head, but you're still watching it. And like a lot of people mentioned, I'll tell you guys, I used to watch the Major League Fishing DVDs. Y'all remember the Major League Fishing?
Oh yeah, yep.
Of them just on the the river in Louisiana. This looks tasty with the cypress trees and all that. I can't remember the name of that place. I want to
Red River, probably Red River. I'd say.
Oh my, that place looks place looks amazing. I want to fish that every time I put that DVD in. But that helped me a lot learn about fishing. So what I'm doing with the new way they're fishing, I'm just paying attention. When everyone's looking at the thing and how they're doing, I'm looking at where the boat's positioned. How is the boat positioned for what he's doing? That's what helps me right now. I'm seeing that they're about this far off and they're facing this way. Okay, so now I'm gonna go to Lake Anna. I'm gonna put my boat in that spot. I'm gonna scan her. I'm gonna see how I'm gonna use what it's like they give you a tool to use in the tournament, and then you're the only one not using it, but you're the only one not getting any money. Like that doesn't make sense to me. You still got bills to pay. So pay your bill. You better use what you need to use to pay your bills. And then if they change it, guess what? You were really good beforehand. It's not like you're stuck now. You're still gonna be able to catch fish. Go back and catch them. Go back to what you were doing. They gave you a tool, use the tool. Take away the tool, go back to your old tools. Go watch the birds dive. I mean, do what you did before and just go jack them. It's not like, I don't know. It's weird to me that people, but I get it. I get every single side of it. I know you guys have heard every single pro and con argument known to man. They done beat it to the point where I don't even like to say the word FFS no more. I don't even want to say it no more. Immediately it's a controversy. As soon as you start,
you automatically divide y'all automatically divide as soon as you say anything about it. Yeah.
Play them video game. You like that video game fishing. Like, oh boy. I ain't never seen a kid go from Xbox to using Four Faces Sonar and winning tournaments. But I mean, hey, I could be wrong. I ain't never seen it.
You still gotta catch them.
You still gotta put a bait in the fish mouth. And that screen doesn't do that. It doesn't put I know a bunch of guys, and I done fished with them personally, that use that thing all day and ain't caught nothing. Zero.
You got to put the work in. You got to put the work in to figure it out. I know guys and they put the work in to figure it out. So
and they do well, and they do and you can consistently do well because now you have a way to look and see what's going on, and it's the same as me. You shorten your learning curve. You're learning more about how the fish move with the thing. Now I do have a problem with the guys that use it that keep their head down and cut you off. I got a problem with those guys. I've had that happen in the tournament. I got a boater. He's fishing a dock. It looks good. Some guy will come in looking at the graph, will cut right in front of where the line is and not look up.
Yep.
And like, hey, buddy, what's happening here? Like, what's going on? And I'm sorry, I didn't see like that kind of stuff. Now that bothers me. And if that's what people are seeing, then that's very, very frustrating. Because one, that's actually dangerous in my opinion.
Yeah.
You're literally just riding on somebody not even looking. That's really, really dangerous. That could not end well at all. But other than that, man, like I say, you just gotta put in your work. Like Rob said, put in your work. And you'll be ready to rock.
Definitely.
Well, I want to apologize to you, Ty, because we're a little over an hour.
Okay.
Hey,
okay.
You still got one question to ask him, though, John. You still got one question.
I'm not. I like to sleep in my own bed. Okay. So my wife's a baker.
Okay.
What's your favorite homemade cookie?
Homemade cookie?
Yeah. What's your favorite cookie, man?
Homemade cookie. I'm a cupcake, regular cake kind of guy. I don't eat a lot of cookies, but if I have to eat one, it's Snickerdoodle.
There you go.
That's 3 in a row.
Yep.
Really?
The ladies last night. Yeah, that's what the ladies last night said.
Was it? Dude, I love a good Snicker. That's probably the only cookie that I eat is a The only cookie I've eaten lately is a Snickerdoodle cookie from from one place that has it. That's all I've eaten. Yeah, that was weird. Other people like Snickerdoodle.
Yeah.
A bunch of them there. Nobody eats them. It's just me.
Both ladies last night said it at the same exact time. Snickerdoodle at the same time.
Wow. Okay. Well,
and just to let you know, both those ladies won the tournament.
Snickerdoodle win. Then that will be my tournament snack on Lake so that I can win this tournament. And I'm gonna thank both the ladies and both of y'all. I'm gonna thank y'all because I appreciate that.
Now,
all right.
And like I said, I apologize for carrying on too much, but just guys talking shop. I want to give you a couple minutes to talk about yourself, your brand, your sponsors, and everything like that.
Oh, okay. In that case, I'll keep it short and sweet because it's not too much going on this year. But I do have the clothing line. It is Fish On Leak Cinco's is one, and the other one of the clothing line. I didn't bring it. I did bring it. The other one of the clothing line. This is a motto for me and my kid. We both designed this together. The idea, and I put I work with someone to get the idea. But never give up is the other one. It's just something that we always believe in this family. I got 3 travel soccer players and future something. I have no idea what, but it's going to be something. But never give up. And a lot of people have that motto. I just put it on a hoodie with my own design. But Fish On Leak Cinco's, Fish On Leak Jigs. That's the clothing line I have. And the clothing line is really about adapting. So it says Fish On Leak Cinco's. It's more so about just understanding that fish only eat certain things, and a lot of times we spend a lot of time trying a bunch of different junk when we know if we put the shaky head in the right spot, we'll get the bite. And we'll miss a whole tournament trying to throw something, and we just know that they eat the shaky head. So let's just throw the shaky head. John, he likes the shaky head.
I've never caught a fish on a shaky head.
Holy cow! I'll give you some shaky head tips.
We'll talk about that at the Potomac.
Oh my goodness! That's my thing with the whole line is just it's about adapting and understanding and not crashing and burning on the day because they bit a buzzbait in practice. Like, make a change. They only eat certain things. You've caught a bunch on a Cinco in the past, but today you choose to just throw your whole tournament away because of one. Like, don't do that. So I kind of made a whole line, but I also made sure I caught everything: jigs, spinnerbaits, chatterbaits. I got a frog one coming, and I got a snakehead guy reached out to me that said that he wants me to make some snakehead ones. I'm going to try to incorporate the snakehead ones, choose what snakehead's like and try that too, in addition to the bass, and maybe go even more brands. But and I got some forward. I got some ideas I'm going to work on. But for the brand, Bass and Furious is me. You can find me on YouTube. I live stream pretty much every day. I kind of took a little break, so I have a lot of work to do. But live streaming is something I really do a lot of. I live stream fishing, and it's very interesting what people think about fishing. And I found that my style of bass fishing is not the biggest thing in the world. When I go fishing, a lot of people don't even understand what bass fishing is. So I had to remind myself of that. Not everybody's a pro bass fisherman. So sometimes I got to break down basic stuff when it comes to fishing and live streaming. Like, some people ask me, what's my setup? And they're like, do you throw bait casters? And in my brain, I'm immediately like, why the heck would I not throw a bait caster? Like, what's wrong? But then I think to myself, I'm like, wait a minute, this person may not ever have seen a bait caster in their life. So then I talk about bait caster, what's going on with a bait caster, how spinning open face, or all these kind of things. So I do that. But everything for me is all on Bass and Furious. Like you mentioned, I do have a podcast. I talk about the co-angler. I tried to mix mine up a little bit, just like you guys do. I talk about co-anglers' life, tips for co-anglers, tricks for co-anglers, but then I also talk to boaters and boater tips and industry news and hot topics. I try to just cover a lot of stuff and try to pretty much do the opposite of what Randy Blockett does on his videos. I try to make every video opposite of Randy's is usually, but I try to just have fun with it. That's one of my things. And he's been quiet the whole time. And now
it happens.
But we don't worry about it, man. Like us, we try to keep it positive. We try to keep it positive and keep it fun.
Oh man. But yes, pretty much that's me, and that's it. Yes, I plan on fishing as much as possible this season, and having some fun and enjoying it. And of course, tuning in to you guys in the podcast you guys got here. I really like what you guys are doing. I love the guests, the different type of guests that you guys have. So I'm very excited to keep on rocking with you guys and learn as much as I can from what y'all are doing. So.
Yeah,
Right.
and your Co-Angler Chronicles, man, it got some good tips. Y'all need to tune that in and look at the replays. He got some good tips in there.
Oh boy, I try my best not to go on a rant for too long and actually provide some valuable information. But sometimes I do get.
No, you do good, man. You do a good job. You're awesome.
Appreciate that.
No, we appreciate it. You know, you were one of the first guests we wanted to have on, but quite hooked up with it. But we'll let you go. Take care of your life. You know, take care of family, and thank you for coming.
We'll have you on. Hey, when you get on a win, we'll have you on again. You get that win, which will be soon. We'll get you on again.
Let's get one. Let's get one right off the gate. Let's start Smith Mountain Lake or Lake Anna, and let's try it. I know I'm up against a bunch, so I'm trying not to talk too much junk. I just want to let my actions speak for me. But I'm very excited about both of them. I feel like I got a good chance at both. As long as I tie on my John, I'll give you some shaky head tips. Don't worry. As long as I tie on my shaky head, I'll be fine. Okay.
There you go.
I'm probably the worst shaky head fisherman that you'll ever meet. I'm gonna just be honest with you guys. I'm so bad with the shaky.
Nah, you ain't.
But yeah, I appreciate it, guys. Thank you guys so much. I look forward to keeping up with you with the podcast. You guys are doing phenomenal things. I see you got guests lined up all the way to June. So you guys are. That's pretty awesome, man.
Yeah, we're
blessed.
Absolutely. Fishing's coming. I don't want to be sitting there scrambling around, being like, "Oh man, I need a guest for tomorrow." No, I don't want that.
No, you're locked in pretty well.
No, yeah, we appreciate it, man. Well, hey, take care. God bless, and
all right, been an honor, my friend. I'll be tuning in to your podcast.
Oh, sounds good. I appreciate that. Thank you.
All right, take care, sir.
All right, man. Take care. See you, buddy.
Right. Peace. Woohoo!
Woo! Hey, man, you guys, really, you need to tune in his stuff. He's got some really good tips. He breaks stuff down really well.
I didn't realize, but I'm like, I look up at the clock. I'm like, oh man, we're an hour and 8 minutes in.
Yeah. Hey, it goes fast, man. Time flies. You having fun for sure. We did, man. We had a great guest. Man, Ty's a super guy. He's one thing like you. He's always positive and brings a little different. So I enjoy his stuff. Really good guy.
It's hard to try to tone him down a little bit, you know.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he's got plenty of energy.
Just let him go. He's passionate.
Yep.
You can see the passion there.
There ain't no doubt. Yeah, he's got the energy and the passion, that's for sure. But great guest, man. We're blessed to have some great guests like we've had lately. And the ladies last night. But that's funny. They all said snickerdoodle. That's pretty funny.
That just got me. I was like, wow.
Yeah, I figured it would. When he said that, I was like, hey.
Yep.
So you have to get the misses on the snickerdoodles this week. I can see already.
Yeah. Just want to let everybody know tomorrow night, former Bassmaster Classic contestant. I believe he won 1 or 2 Bassmaster Bass Nation championships.
Yep.
Makes his own baits. Mr. Ed Cohen.
I got some of his baits, and they are awesome, by the way, guys. They're hard to get, but they are well worth it.
I saw him at the show the other day or other weekend. I'm like, hey, did you bring some spinner baits? He goes, no, I left them at home.
Oh, he has some good stuff.
I didn't want to talk to him the rest of the day.
Now, his grass jigs, you need to check out his grass jigs. They are really impressive.
Yeah, I know. We have some of the same circles, so.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Well, I remember him back in Knoxville when they had the Bass Wrangler Amateur Nation events. He was in like at least 2 of them. I helped with him, and I remember him in there, and he did really good on both of them. I remember. So, stay tuned, guys. He's a living legend. So, definitely be a great show.
Yeah. All right. Well, everybody be safe. Have a great night, and tune in tomorrow.
Peace out.
All right.